Om Shanti. A very good morning to you all. Welcome and a very hearty welcome to Didi. So today is a very interesting topic. On our spiritual path, I think this topic comes very close to us. So today's topic is silence, key to experiencing AVYAKT and incorporeal stage. And Didi has been practicing this for decades. Didi needs no introduction. She has been on this path for decades, like I said, and she has been practicing this very deeply. Didi has been a director for Gyan Sarovar, and she is also coordinating the activities of Australasia. So Didi wants to start herself, and then we will follow questions from the online as well. So silence.
Everybody got translation, Russian. Russian got translation. Baba has been emphasizing to maintain silence or to be in Baba's remembrance all the time. Because silence can be different type. We say sweet silence when we experience being in subtle region with Brahma Baba, then there is sweet silence. When we are in incorporeal stage, just dot, remembering dot, that is supreme silence. And you must have observed in a Lokic world, when somebody dies, everybody is quiet. But they are not happy. They are mourning the death. And that is dead silence. So, when we observe silence, it can be a Vyakta stage or incorporeal stage. So, we are gaining power during silence. And we can conquer Maya. The silence power can also help us to conquer our bad habits. We have seen many drug addicts able to give up drug addiction. Alcoholic people have been able to give up their addiction of alcohol, cigarettes, lust. So we can transform lust into pure love. Short-tempered people have become quiet, calm. Body consciousness we can change into soul consciousness, and we can destroy obstacles. In order to practice silence, we need to have deep love for one Baba. Detachment, disinterest in the old world, soul consciousness, economy of thoughts, words, actions, love for solitude. No wastage of time, thoughts, words, energy. So we can collect variety powers through silence. And we can share with others those powers of peace, love, happiness, bliss, etc. Through silence power, we can remain stable, unshakable, Master Almighty, and our sense organs remain under our control. We can attain complete purity. Purity and silence help mutually each other. If we are pure, easy to maintain silence. If we are maintaining silence, we can maintain purity. So, Baba says, remember me all time. Or churn Gyan. Keep busy. Don't allow unnecessary thoughts. And we have our routine of silence at Amrit Vela, 6:30 to 7. Here, different countries will have different time for silence, but in Madhuban we have 6:30 to 7 meditation before Murli. In the evening, for you nowadays is 6 to 7:30 meditation or silence. So, Baba has given us routine, but apart from that, whenever we are free, we can maintain silence. So it's better to maintain silence and not allow any thoughts, waste thoughts.
So, Didi, thank you very much for that brief introduction on silence. I'd like to ask you the first question. Didi, why morning time is the best time for silence? Can't we do it later during the day?
Morning time, because everybody is asleep. So the atmosphere is quiet. So in that quiet atmosphere, we are able to connect with Baba easily. Because No, in early days in India, whenever we wanted to ring overseas, or from overseas we wanted to ring to India, we used to ring before 7 or something, because afterwards the line will be too busy. So same thing here also. Once everybody is awake, the thought vibrations are there, and there is no easy connection with Baba. But with silence and atmosphere, because everybody is asleep, we are able to meditate better. Connection with Baba is easy.
But sometimes, Didi, what happens is we will find that we ourselves go to sleep because it's so quiet. We want to. How do we win over the sleep in the early morning?
The thing is, practice will make you perfect. So you have to keep on meditating. Even if you are feeling sleepy, meditate.
Practice, practice, and practice.
Keep on waking up, and with your determined thought and love for Baba and the power you get, naturally it will be easy to meditate.
So, Didi, for a yogi, easy Raj yogis that we are, 4 to 8 in the morning is very, very important for us. But what happens is, how do we develop a strong awareness, understanding that silence after Murli class is very, very important, so we can do that dharna, that inculcation. So this morning hours between 4 to 8 is very important for Raj yogis. But what happens is we start speaking, we have to discuss some service plans. In that process, we don't land up remaining silent and taking the full benefit of that time. So at that point in time, between 4 and 8, how to develop this strong awareness and maintain that silence ourselves?
When you know something is bringing benefit, naturally the clever businessman usually sees that this is a time when more customers are coming. They keep awake day and night. I remember when I was in Fiji in early 70s, the ships used to come at night from America, Europe, etc. The shopkeepers, what they used to do is, daytime ladies would look after the shop, duty-free shop, and at night husbands will look after the shop, because that is the time when there is so much income. So they would keep the shops open 24 hours. In the same way, when we realize that Amrit Vela from 4 o'clock to at least 5:30 is the best time when everybody is asleep. And Baba says, I keep that time 4 to 5 for my children. Bhagats wake up at 5 o'clock, and some people start their business and activity from 5:30 onwards. So that's the best time. And naturally, sensible person will not miss that
Miss
time.
that time. Thank you, Didi. That is very, very mindful that a clever businessman, we all have to become clever businessmen. So, Didi, this is the month of January and it's foundation for the whole year, 2023. So, it's a bhatti time. But what happens is we are not able to maintain the long period of silence. So we skip and we get distracted and we get into just chatting and talking. We while away our time. So, Didi, how do we have long periods of silence while sitting in yoga?
At least in Gyan Sarovar, we have room, training centers, room number 7,
Infrastructure.
where there is 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock meditation going on, continuous. And so those who are interested, whenever they are free, they can go. Baba's room is also open 24 hours.
Yes.
So the thing is, one needs to have desire to earn income.
Yes.
So if there is desire, then they can go and meditate. And in between, so suppose after 1 hour you are tired, you can walk for 5-10 minutes, come back again. Like that you can do.
So we don't have to be rigid. We don't have to be rigid that we have to sit like that very strong, and we can just get up and be flexible.
We can get up in between and stroll around and keep ourselves fresh. As Baba was saying, keep alert. Don't be careless.
Careless. Yes, Didi. So in Hindi there is a saying, Antarmukhi Sada Sukhi. So those who are introverted, they are always happy. What happens is that we are not able to stay in silence because of the sanskar of extroversion. It's very easy to meet people and all new faces are there, so it's easy to be extroverted. How to keep up the sanskar of extroversion and how to keep the balance between introversion and extroversion?
We have come to Baba to transform ourselves. Never say it's my sanskar of extroversion and keep on being extrovert. Remind yourself that my original sanskar is silence. And create this interest in the old world. Because extrovert people are interested in gossiping, knowing about everyone, everything, and they are interested in watching window shopping, seeing what sort of a latest dress is there, buying ornaments, visiting different countries and cities, famous countries. Brahman will say, oh, I must go to Somnath. I must go to Banaras. Baba is talking about Banaras, Kashi. So now, no Brahma Baba, what he used to say, what is there in this Kali Yuga? All monkeys. I'm not interested. Whereas some people are interested in going here and there and listening to music and dances and friends and social gathering and all. So that's what we have to really have that desire that I want to earn my imperishable income.
Okay. So, Didi, thank you. That we definitely will, this kind of imperishable income we definitely will earn. Yes, we have to maintain the very good balance between the two. Didi, what practice do we need to develop in maintaining inner silence while busy in our Lokik job? Um, we are very busy in our activities, right? We get very action consciousness. So, how to how do we balance our Lokik and alokik? And then we maintain silence as well at that time. They will kick us out from the job. They'll say, you're too silent. We need people who are a little bit more extroverted.
If Lokik job is intellectual, then you can't maintain silence. But if Lokik job is of labor, Karma Yoga, gardening, washing, cleaning, then it's easy to maintain silence and be karma yogi. In the early days, I remember most of the Australian youngsters, when they came to Gyan, they changed their job to the labor job so that they could meditate during their job. So it depends on what sort of a job you have. Or some of them give up job, some of them have part-time job, so that they can spare more time in meditation and spiritual service.
I remember in Dubai when you came, Didi, I was showing you with a lot of interest the project which was Palm Jumeirah. There were so many hotels. So you really maintained silence. I remember you were not interested at all and you were very beyond. My interest was more to show you the hotels, but you were very detached and very not interested in seeing the outer world. So yes, I did see that in action. That Didi, there are different types of silence: sweet silence, dead silence, and supreme silence, like you said. In creating this AVYAKT stage, which type of silence do we need to practice more? Sweet silence, dead silence, or supreme silence?
Usually, when I'm sitting in meditation, I practice supreme silence.
Okay.
Whilst moving around, naturally sweet silence.
Okay. Didi, one of the obstacles that we experience is that our old sanskar and old nature keeps emerging when we are in karma yogi. It's very easy when we sit here silently listening, trying to absorb knowledge. Didi, how do we deal with this old sanskars that keep emerging? How do we, first of all, identify them in our own self, that this is my sanskar and I have to, how do I realize this? That this is my sanskar, it's causing me damage and I should get rid of it and inculcate positive. This distinction, this particular thing doesn't come to my mind.
Main thing, when we now come to Baba, our aim is to change from Shudra to deity. Such a high aim. From Shudra or Tamo Pradhan, we gradually change to Rajo, Sato, Sato Pradhan. So, never have tell that this is my sanskar. Old sanskar, Baba says, don't say my sanskar. So I, my, we have to renounce. And we have to have aim that I want to become Bab Saman. So old sanskars we have to renounce. And determination and silence power will help us to renounce old nature and sanskar. Just remember our original sanskar, our imperishable sanskar of soul and deity. That's my sanskar.
Okay. Didi, you have met Brahma Baba. You got very good coaching, mentoring from him. You saw him in action, how he practiced bodilessness or silence. But we don't have such good coaches as of today. We come to the center, we have our running around to do, our daily job. We are not having such inspirational like Brahma Baba. So, in that case, how do we, in our minds, keep carrying on? Because it's quite a challenge whereby you are fighting all yourself alone, you feel like. You are yourself fighting, battling. We have figure of Brahma Baba and some seniors and all that. We see them. But like Brahma Baba, you people have a very intimate and a very personal connection with Brahma Baba. So can you share some glimpses of Brahma Baba, how he practiced, so we are also inspired the same way?
AVYAKT Brahma is sustaining now everybody.
Yes.
So, Murli is the main sustenance for everybody. So, if you study Murli well, naturally you will be able to take a lot of sustenance.
From the Murli.
Because not everybody is fortunate to have sustenance of not only Mama, Baba, but not even Dadis nowadays.
Yes.
Nowadays, even the Dadis are not able to sustain. There are no Dadis. So, our main sustenance is Murli and self-effort. Because Baba has been telling, time is short. If time is short, naturally we have to have intense efforts. And naturally, Gyan is refined, Yoga is refined. That's the help for present generation. Everything is refined. We have so many commentaries. In the early days, there was no commentary, not even 7 days course.
Okay.
Now, not only 7 days course, but even after 7 days course, the new Murli students, they are given in many centers more
Sustenance.
personal. I think in Russia, they have not 7 days course, 1 month course. So, more sustenance from senior teachers is given. So I think according to drama, Baba says, whatever has happened, there is benefit.
Benefit.
Past is good, present is good, future will be better.
So Didi, Baba says that follow father, right? So follow father, Baba says very clearly in the Murli. How do I get a very transparent picture how to follow father?
I think if you read Brahma's biography, Mama's biography, Dadi's biography, then you know what sort of a Mama, Baba, Dadis were there, how they made effort. And that is very inspiring,
Yes.
the book.
Yes.
So that's what we have to understand Baba and Mama and Dadis through books.
Okay. So we have this traffic control, 10:30, 12:30, and now we have even the traffic control every hour. But despite that, we find it very difficult to be in silence, Didi. It's very easy for you, but for us it's a bit difficult. Can you make it easy for us and be very transparent and clear as to what exactly do I do in that second?
What you have to do is, those who are doing jobs specially, I advise them, whenever you have tea break, because in the Western world, people often take tea break many times.
Yes.
Even it may be 2 minutes. When you go to toilet, when you drink water or go for cup of tea, have meditation at that time.
Okay.
Even answering phone, you pick up the phone and try to be in Baba's remembrance. So whatever chance you have, try to meditate.
Didi, can you demonstrate practically just now? Say, for example, right now, a song goes on, which it did. What you did in your mind? I mean, what did you say to yourself? Did you repeat the thoughts or did you experience intimate connection with Baba?
Mainly, I try to take my mind beyond during meditation or traffic control. Because giving Drishti, but first connecting Baba and then connecting with people. And recently, one of the points was, through your attitude, change the atmosphere.
Vritti and Vatavaran.
Huh?
Vritti and Vatavaran.
So nowadays, I try to create powerful atmosphere with my attitude.
Shiv Baba is not tangible, no? Shiv Baba, how do we experience him as a real being? And it's very easy to because we all are bodily beings. We have this body, so it's very easy to connect. But to connect with Shiv Baba, sometimes I find it difficult for him to be real. How to make it real for myself?
Try to remember Bap Dada.
You mean Dadi Gulzar's?
Bap Dada together.
Okay.
Because Baba always says, I'm working through Dada. So if you can't remember incorporeal, because anything is right. If you remember only Brahma Baba, that is right. If you remember only Shiv Baba, it's right. If you remember Bap Dada together, that's also okay. So if you can't remember dot, or you don't get that feeling through dot, remember Bap Dada together.
Okay. Like we remember our grandfather? Like, normally in our lives we have, if our dad is expired or our grandfather is not there, we remember them, right? Very easily. So you're saying that we should remember like that our Bap Dada as well. Okay, that makes it easy. So, Baba, is there any connection between experiencing silence and the depth of purity? Meaning that if we cannot or find it difficult in experiencing silence, so our level of purity is still not deep. Please comment on that. So, trying to understand, if my silence power is less, can I say that my purity power is less, or it's the same?
Silence and purity mutually depend on each other.
Okay.
Unless we are pure, we cannot have powerful meditation. Unless we have powerful meditation, we can't be completely pure. So if purity is less, naturally our meditation will not be powerful.
Okay.
So we have to pay attention to both.
Purity as well as silence. So, can our silence power control an extroverted person? Say I'm very extroverted and you're very introverted. Is that possible, and how can we do that?
To make other also introverts.
Yeah, like I'm a very extroverted Didi. So you see me. Can you control my extroversion and make me introverted?
I think silence power can help others also
Sure.
to be introvert. Because if somebody is silent, you can't be talking all the time. You don't get response in words.
So don't reply.
Or if I'm not interested in your talk, naturally you can't keep on talking. So I remember once during international conference, there was one sannyasi from India, but who had been to Africa. And our gathering, Vedanti Ben was there. So Vedanti Ben was praising him, that how he was very popular and he was welcome in Africa, etc. Then Jagdish Bhai came. And Jagdish Bhai started giving him straight Gyan. and he became like that. So he became so serious as if he's not interested in listening to Gyan.
Yeah.
So naturally, when somebody is not interested, you can feel that they are just blocking,
Blocking, yes.
and you don't feel like talking. If somebody is interested, you feel like keeping on talking.
Yes.
So, by being introvert in silence, the other person also will be quiet. I remember when AVYAKT Bap Dada was meeting us personally. Dadi Janki told Baba, Baba, I had many questions, but when I come in front of you, everything disappears. I become quiet. And Baba says, it will be safe with you also. When people come in front of you, they will forget their questions. So the thing is, my stage can affect people around. I remember one of the brothers in Australia said there was two drivers fighting because one driver was trying to go ahead of the other driver and that driver didn't give room. So he stopped his car in front of the other one and brought him out and were fighting. And these brothers went and stood in silence and they stopped fighting.
Wow. Very good.
So if Brahmins can do, and he was not very old in Gyan, maybe 10 years in Gyan, but he could make them quiet.
That's very good, Siddhi. So, one of the tool of the silence is Drishti. You know, Brahma Baba used to see somebody and they used to become bodiless. So, how to achieve such a stage to take people beyond?
As I said, is practice will make you perfect. If you are not interested
Okay.
in the mundane, worldly things, it's easy to go beyond.
So, Didi, last question is that can Didi share some how Didi practices silence during the day?
During day, my routine is Amritvela. That time I try to maintain incorporeal stage. Then morally, naturally, we remember these are Baba's versions. Then reading email and replying them. Naturally, I try to keep my connection with Baba and catch Baba's inspiration to answer them. And preparing for the next day's morely, reading morely. And nowadays, I am usually free between 6 and 8, 8:30. So apart from having my dinner, I have Baba's translate in my room. So I switch on that and have meditation. So nowadays I get a lot of time for meditation because either 7 to 7:30 here, but otherwise 6:30 to 7:30 in my room.
Wonderful, Didi. So, Didi, we have some online questions. So it says, Dear Didi ji, at the last period, will all the souls know that the new world is to be established, or only Baba's children?
I think according to Baba's Murli, everybody will know God has come,
Okay.
but everybody will not know about golden age.
Okay. Okay. So, Didi, I have one more online question here. Um, I have trouble with my husband. He stops me from going to the center or relate anything to the center, anything to do with the center. Even secretly listen Murli at home is not allowed for me. So should I secretly come to the center while he's not around?
He doesn't allow her to go to
To the
center.
center. So she's asking, is that while she's not away, even secretly, shall I listen to the Murli at home? I mean, secretly come to the center while he's not around means I have to do things hidingly from him, and he's my husband.
So she can go secretly to the center and make point to read Murli every day. Or nowadays we have recorded Murli.
Yes, we have a lot of media.
So recorded Murli she can listen or read Murli, whatever is convenient for her. Because in the early days, the sisters who were in bondage, they used to get secretly Murli copy,
From the
or they used to give excuse, I'm going to for shopping, and go to center. So give some excuse and go to center whenever possible.
But sometimes, my conscience feels that why should I lie to my husband? Then I can't relate to my husband directly, like, okay, he's not allowing me, but he's my husband at the end of the day. I have a
So
relationship.
what? We have to now change relationship to spiritual relationship. So husband is not husband, he is your brother now. And is not a guru
Yes. Thank
or
you.
not God. Because in the old days, people used to think husband is my everything, God, guru, everything. And very obedient. But nowadays, women are also becoming independent, free, and they also have their own right.
So, Didi, this is one more question here. During the Murli, at the end, there is AVYAKT signals. I really haven't gotten to ask why there is a separate section or separate material given added to the section. Why is that? Isn't there material enough that we are adding AVYAKT signals? These are all online questions, Didi.
If you are
These are
not
online.
if you are not interested in AVYAKT signal, don't listen.
Straightforward.
Those who want to listen or follow, they can follow. Here I am not reading AVYAKT signal, I am just reading the homework that is given. Like today it's good wishes and pure feelings. So I read it in the beginning.
Okay. Not at the end.
In the beginning. So those who come late, they will miss it. Or if AVYAKT signal, if they are read at the end, if you are not interested, go.
Okay.
Some people are interested and they really try to follow. AVYAKT signals are about concentration and solitude. And they are good. So if you want to progress further, why not listen and follow?
Wonderful, Didi. So, Didi, this question here, it says Lokik jobs, seva plans, family duties take us to extrovert a lot during the day. When I check the chart at the end of the day, there is almost no time for silence. So, what is the best practice to remain silent and make the soul powerful? Didi, I'd like to add to this. I had one question personally that Baba says to make the timetable for the mind. How do I make the timetable to avoid waste and
At
to
least
also...
Amrit Vela, nobody will disturb him.
Okay. So do Amrit Vela.
Amrit Vela, he should not miss. And because you have to travel to your job, so why not meditate at that time? And as I said, when you are eating, drinking, going to toilet, having shower, all this you can do whilst meditating.
All yuktis.
Routine, personal, which is essential, but you can do whilst meditating.
So Didi, all your answers that you're giving is pretty much in the maryadas Babas have laid out. So if you're having no time, you take the time at Amrit Vela. If you say that how it's very difficult to be in silence, so use traffic control. So all tools Baba has given us. I hear you say that. So Baba, Baba said that swasthiti stage of self-awareness, swasthiti is a master almighty authority stage. You're able to win the parasthiti over it. So Didi, what's your experience about being a master almighty authority? Can you share what do you actually feel when you're master almighty authority? How do you just repeat the point, I'm a master almighty authority, or you like feel it?
Because whenever there is any situation, when I am Master Almighty Authority, I can be under control. The situation, people should not affect me. Because sometimes, somebody's sanskar, people get affected. they criticize or defame you, and you get affected. So when your Master Almighty Authority, you are in that great intoxication, and nothing can pull you down. Situation will come, but you will be under control. No complaint. Obstacle can be destroyed easily.
Didi, this is the month of January, AVYAKT Bap Dadas, and the foundation for the whole year. Didi, personally yourself, you have done lots of 18th January. You have experienced, you have done a lot of effort. For what is the difference between that and this particular 18th January, this month for yourself? What effort you are doing specially, or what inspirations you're getting from Brahma Baba for this month?
As in this month, we are all following silence, because Dadi is Morley, or Dadi's class, to go into cave of introversion. So naturally, nowadays, Madhuban is really guiding us all in a powerful stage. So I find it day by day, there are signals that make us to make intense effort.
Wonderful, Didi. Thank you so much, Didi. Yes, thank you so
It's past 11.
much. 11 o'clock.
Let us have 2 minutes meditation, and then I will get introduction of all who are here.
अनुभव होता हमको ऐसा बार बार है, अनुभव होता हमको ऐसा बार बार है, अव्यक्त होते बाबा लगता साकार है, अव्यक्त होते बाबा लगता साकार है। मधुबन के आंगन